Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to Creature Corner. I'm your host, Jared Krichevsky. Welcome, and I hope you are enjoying week 2 of Dexter's Lab. Still have not painted my garage. That's going to happen this weekend. Joining me today, as always, is Matthew Millard. Hello, Matthew.
Hey man, how's it going? What's going on?
It's good. It's good. How's your milk?
Oh, dude, it's ready.
Is it covered with froth?
There's a frothy top.
So we're gonna check in. We'll do a little check in, and then we'll just get right to the Jambolinis.
Jambo.
To Jambo's town. All right, so here we are. This is where we left off last week, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
Last week I had sculpted all these like tumory, bulbousy nastiness on the
disgusting.
back. it's so gross. So goals, I think, for today, because like I feel like the anatomy is pretty much done. Goals for today are like I want to carry some of the tumors kind of down the arm a little bit, just to kind of sink the language in.
Yeah.
And then I need to separate the teeth out, because those are going to be a separate material. Paint the eyes, and I want to put like quills down the back.
Yeah.
We talked about that, and I think that should be enough for like today, and then hopefully start getting some mesh on this and start poly painting, and then we can do pose tests and actually do some paint overs and do some fun stuff. So that's
what was his name?
Eric, I think.
Oh, Eric. Was it Tim? It could have been Eric.
It could have been Tim. Could have been Hambo.
It could have been Hammy Jamblins. Dude, yeah, that's I love that. That looks great.
Yeah, it's starting to get gnarly. Like whenever you first start any project, it's always there's always like the timer in your head, and you know how long something takes, and so you just go, okay, this is going to take forever, and then you just go.
Yep.
And let's check in on Matt. Matt's got his. You're on what week? Is this week 3 of Cthulhu? Yeah, I mean you've been on this for a while, but like on the stream, like the 3rd week, I think that we've seen.
Yeah, maybe second. It's been 3rd. Was it? I thought the last time was the first time.
I don't remember.
Time is not real, and
time
there is no such thing.
Time does not exist.
Yeah, man. I'm. It's looking great, but if I'm going to print it like large format, like once you get into some of this, it's just not like locked all the way in for that level of detail that I want to come through on a print, and I'm just adding some kind of secondary language in the head and stuff like that, pumping up the tubes,
pump up the volume.
But yeah, I mean, you can clearly see, like it's just kind of ZBrush garbage in here in some spots. So, yeah, I mean, back here, it looks cool, but if I'm I want to be able to have that.
Because it's a sculpture, you want to look at it, you want to read it, you want to, totally.
Yeah, and it's just a labor of love. I'm basically in fun zone at this point. Like the design's locked in, and you can just. Oh, yeah. And the deal is I got everything for my printer this week.
Oh yeah. You got your box in.
Yeah, I got the printer. I got the curing station. Got the resin in on Sunday. But it's just so damn big that I don't have anywhere to put it, right? So my buddy is making me a workbench that'll be done probably by the weekend.
Oh, right.
And so just wherever I'm at by then, I'll just fire it up. Spend 100 hours trying to figure out how to use it and
then
kick off my first failed print.
Yeah, one of many.
I mean, you've got hope that maybe the gods recognize your effort and they want you to succeed.
I don't know if you saw this, but Michael Pavlovich, who has made a tutorial video on every possible feature.
Yeah, that dude rules.
Of ZBrush, but I don't know if these are new or I'm just like coming to them, but they're he's just got some new tutorials on lychee slicer. So
okay, cool.
That process.
Yeah, I think the Phenom is native to Chitu box or whatever. But I mean the concepts are all the same. So
yeah,
I'll definitely check that out.
I mean, I like Chitu box. I've used it, but it's still got like hurdles.
Yeah,
where it's like a pain in the butt.
I mean, really, dude, are you hollowing your models in Chitu box or are you doing it in Zed?
I'm doing it in Chitu box.
Okay, so that's pretty reliable then.
It's pretty reliable.
Yeah, I've been dreading doing it in ZBrush.
Yeah, I don't think ZBrush is the way to go, only because it can scale is so weird.
Oh man,
you just don't know what something's really going to look like. So when it's in the software, you're like, yeah, this is how it's going to look.
Do you remember trying to use Scale Master, bro?
Supposedly it's gotten better.
I'm sure it has. We were just like, what is going on?
Yeah, I mean, when we first started like engineering prints, right at the like height of like 3D printing and form labs and all that stuff, it was tough. And what was worse is we actually had like a client project on top of that, so we were trying to learn and deliver, and that was
we're like, yeah, we totally know what
we totally know all this.
No worries at all.
No worries. And then they promised like, yeah, we can have this in 2 weeks. We're like, what?
It'll take 2 weeks to print this thing, what? Man.
Yeah. But we did it. Somehow we did it.
Yeah, pulled it off. Turned out pretty solid, man. Turned out great.
And we ended up doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, we really did.
We really did. And flying by the seat of our pants together.
And that's how, that's how that stuff goes sometimes, man.
Sometimes. Let's see. We're already getting some questions. Have you guys found any uses for thick skin feature in ZBrush? Yeah, there's lots.
Oh, dude, you did all those cool clay.
Yeah. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
I mean, for clay stuff, it's amazing. All right, let me embiggen,
my lord.
Make it big. Oh, nope. See, I know what I'm doing.
What'd you do, man?
Just zapping. Okay, so in 2020, I don't know. I had like a burst of like creative nonsense, and I had to. I don't know. I wanted to create, and it's right. You can tell when they came out with thick skin because like that's all I wanted to do for a while.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about it is it gives you, it does give you like a clay feel. Now the render here, this is all keyshot, and keyshot material, but the sculpting thick skin clay is awesome.
Yeah, and man. So I mean,
it really like trying to think of like some good parts in there. Like there's some of it in there that's clay, some of it's like rake brush, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it's like it's like any other kind of sculptural feature that you're going to do. It can enhance your project, and it's pretty fun. I loved it.
Was it one of those things to where you like played around with the tool and then it just kind of led you to, you're like, oh man,
yeah,
kind of getting in the zone.
Because it was like it's not like I sat through and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a series of clay sculptures. Like, no, I'm playing with the toy, and then the toy led to like creative happy accidents.
And it's all about toys, man. Everybody
That's really
knows
what
that.
it's all about. So that's what I would say but like for sculpting stuff, where I would use it, and over here on my side panel, I have actually have it docked here because it's a great brush, the actual thick skin. Now, I'm not going to use, I'm not going to use it on this guy right now, but you can you can get some like really nice, like gooey kind of surfaces and actually get some happy accents that way.
Yeah, it's
now,
just
like what you get are these little points and these like little peaks and valleys here.
Yeah.
That stuff's hard to sculpt just by hand.
Oh yeah.
So have I used it in actual like sculpting? Yeah, I've definitely used it as like more for like, I would say more for environments stuff. But it's super, super useful. So definitely recommend it. But the other one that you can dock is the thick skin button, which is down here. And if you just turn it on, that actually gives you like, it prevents like you'll only build up to a certain height. So if you
okay.
Yeah. Because what it does is it gives you like a height limit. So everything that you do, like you're not going to build beyond that. And
that's cool.
Even if I try and sculpt it, like it's not going to go beyond this limit, and that's your thickness slider. But then you can sculpt in, and you'll only sculpt in a certain amount as well.
Huh, that's cool.
So where this really shines is hard surface stuff, because then you can set a limit and not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I find this really good for hard surface stuff. I don't use it a lot for organics, only because with organic, I like to sculpt organically. So it's like free, pure freedom. Question: do we do physical activities when studying at Gnomon? There's no like gym class. They are next door to a gym.
Gold's Gym, yeah.
Gym. So what I did when I went there is I would like go work out and then I go take class, then I go to class. So I definitely recommend, and Matt knows I'm a huge proponent of this, but like exercise is a part of the holistic artist mind body connection.
Yeah, you got to move around, man.
Because I've done like probably everything you shouldn't do and paid the price for it. Eating like nonstop fast food and then working long hours. So now I exercise like a crazy person. And it's not because I love to exercise. I hate it. but like it's because I need to do it to survive as an artist. So it's holistic. It's healthy body, healthy mind, healthy art.
Healthy farts.
Healthy farts. Excellent point, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
If you eat good food, yeah. Is there a basketball team, or do you guys play basketball? There's no teams.
No.
It's not like Gnomon's not like a college where you're like I don't know, rooting for teams or I don't know. Yeah. I had a traditional college experience, and Gnomon is not a traditional experience.
Yeah.
And in a way, in some ways I'm glad I had that traditional experience. In other ways, I'm like, I wish I just knew about Gnomon when I started.
Yeah. That would have been nice for sure.
I mean, on the flip side, I have a bachelor's degree, so that allowed me to keep teaching when Gnomon when Gnomon got accredited. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, like it worked out. It worked out, but now Gnomon is a 4-year Bachelor of the Arts degree.
Man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, and
It's
you
full
know,
blown.
full blown, and you know, I wish they had that when I started, because it's rad,
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
you know, and you know, they kept adding stuff after I left. They added the tracks and they added everything else. You know, it's been 12 since 2009 is when I went. So it's uh you know, it's changed in that there's more labs, more computers, more students. Yeah. But you know, they kept adding stuff after I left, and I was like, damn, I would have stayed for that. I would have continued.
I would have ate the whole thing.
I'd have ate the whole thing. Dylan, I'm gonna eat the whole burger.
I'm gonna eat the whole burger.
I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Just unapologetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt. When did you go?
Man, I don't even know. It was
time is a blur.
It was what? I mean, 6. Well, no, I graduated 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Wow.
Something like that. And it was I did the 2-year program.
Yeah.
Man, what an incredible experience, dude.
It is the hardest you will ever work.
Oh, dude.
Like I was not, like, say, a good student in my college. Like I had like passable grades.
Yeah.
But I didn't really care for traditional courses.
Mm-hmm.
Like now I'm, I wish I had done a little better, because my mentality has changed about learning.
Yeah, for sure.
So because back then I didn't know how to learn.
Yeah.
And that's actually a big thing, is like knowing how to learn stuff. Like, how do you make yourself excited to learn? Which I don't think they really teach you at school, which is ironic, because that's the place where you should want to learn stuff. But I was, I don't think I was a good student. I think now, if I had my brain now and I plucked it into maybe my younger self, I would have probably done better.
Man, I
was a crappy student.
Well, Jared, I think you were a great student, man. I mean, I wasn't there, but you were a great teacher, so something came from it, right?
Well, that's what Gnomon taught me, was how to learn, and how to continue to learn after I finished the courses.
Yeah.
Like I learned that you have to make yourself curious. And curiosity is a skill that that you can grow, right? Like any other skill, it's a muscle that you flex, and the stronger your curiosity about things, the more you learn, the better, more information you retain. That. And now I'm really hungry to learn. I love learning stuff, but when I was younger, I was like, it felt like a burden.
Oh, dude, of course. I mean, whenever you're young, you can't be bothered unless you want to do something yourself.
And exactly. And I was so insecure, and that's all all I was thinking about, is just like how insecure I was all the time. So
I mean, you're a budding artist, and you're learning, and you're nervous, and you don't want to embarrass yourself, and
and high school is hyper Darwinian anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not a great learning environment. Now I think is so different, because if you want to get into CGI, you have the entire internet at your disposal.
Oh yeah, man.
Like you can watch YouTube all day and learn CG tricks, and you have Gnomon, and you have there's Blender. It's free. Can you imagine learning Blender as a kid? Like my niece saw Encanto and picked up Blender and just started going for it.
She was like, I want to know how to do this.
I want to know how to do that. And that's so awesome. I didn't have that.
Yeah, whenever I started 3D modeling, it was back whenever, like, Half-Life was open source and everybody was making their own mods.
Okay.
So I learned a program called Milkshape 3D.
Milkshape.
That
sounds like something you and I would like just make up.
Yeah, dude. And it was no joke, vertice by vertice modeling. It was just dots on X, Y, and Z, and then connecting planes.
And you're like, this is awful.
Yeah, I was, and I made some really terrible gun, but we ended up getting into Counter-Strike and all that stuff, and that got me really excited. I did that stuff for a couple of years whenever I was in high school.
So you started by modding then?
Yeah, working on Counter-Strike mods like Specialist and all of these other games that we would play. And I met, a couple of people that are like still actually made it like big time into the game industry and stuff. That do incredible work, working on Call of Duty and stuff. I was making Counter-Strike textures with them like back in 2000 or something.
Oh man.
But you were just painting. There was no lighting or ray tracing in Counter-Strike, right? So you painted all the lighting information into the tabs. And so you'd have to make the top of the slides like lighter, make it look like the sun down on it, and you had to go in there. No bump maps or anything, just a map and a model. But I ended up kind of abandoning it for a multitude of reasons for years and years and years, and I randomly got curious about ZBrush whenever I was about 26, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna see what this is about, and then fast forward, here we are.
Funny because I messed around with ZBrush 2 back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Like number 2 or as well?
As in the number 2. It was just like early ZBrush. Well, no, not with number 2 because you don't play with poop.
You don't want to do that.
Do that. No, I ordered it. I got a CD in the mail. Because I thought like, oh man, I bet there's some kind of 3D sculpting. And this was like back when ZBrush was only 2.5D illustration.
Oh yeah.
So you could not like subtools did not exist. You could only do like, you could sculpt the thing, and then you could sculpt a separate thing, and then you had to. That's where this came from. Let me pull this up. So that's where this came from. This drives new users nuts, but you do the Shift S and you snapshot.
Yeah,
that's how you illustrate it. So if I wanted to illustrate something, I would say like sculpt the head separately. Let's solo that out. I would sculpt the head separately, and you'd Shift S, and then you'd sculpt the body, and then you'd have to like do that. You know what I mean?
That is incredible.
That's how you so if I wanted to turn the head, this is how I sculpted, was I would do it separately, and then you would do a BPR render.
Yeah.
Right? Like this. And this was before even BPR existed. So you could just do a best render like this. And that's what rendering was in ZBrush.
That's how you got it.
There were no separate objects. There were no subtools. There was no anything. So when I first messed around with it, I was like, this is not helpful. This is not like a 3D package. And then, of course, like years, but I saw the potential. And then years later, when I went to Gnomon, I was like, oh wow, I remember this program, and they really changed it. And now it's like the program that I live in.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. And it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun to make stuff all day. Just cool monsters. That's where I live.
We
Cool
like to have a good time.
I like to have a good time. I like to make money and get turned.
Yeah, that's why I got that produce manager job at Walgreens that I work. Get that extra money in.
Get that,
or that main income.
Get that main income.
Because everybody gets produce at Walgreens.
Everybody. I get my produce at Walgreens.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go to the CVS, get an ice cream, as a treat.
Yeah, you get the ice cream, and then you get the 3-foot receipt that comes with it because it's CVS.
Get some ice cream at Walgreens. Get your taxes done at Walgreens.
Oh man, I have a render of my very first ZBrush sculpt. I'm gonna have to find it. Can you guess what it is?
Sub-Zero. Scorpion?
No.
It's the Milkman.
You're getting closer.
Yeah, you were way off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to dig on the internet. That I'll have to show.
We'll do a. You know what we'll do is we'll do a show and tell, and we'll share our first arts that we made, because I still have all my Gnomon homework. I still have it all.
We can do a glow up.
A glow up.
Oh my god.
That sounds fun. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm ready to start making some quills. So have you started setting up your printer at all?
No, I have nowhere to set it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 150 pounds.
Sitting in the box.
Once you get it somewhere, that's where it lives.
That's where, because there's no moving that around.
You're not going to pick that thing up and move it around.
So, to make this quill, I'm going to use ZSpheres. It's going to be super fun. See, back in the old ZBrush days, ZSpheres were how you had to model everything. Dynamesh didn't even exist.
Yeah.
This was the only way you could make stuff, was ZSpheres. And then you had to do ZSphere topology and then take that into some other program to edit.
Man, I haven't used ZSpheres in oh yeah.
You know what they're good for is there's a couple good things that they are for is that now they have the curve helper. So you can actually wrap a Z-sphere kind of around an object, turn that into a curve, and then use an insert mesh brush on that curve.
Huh.
It's rad.
Sounds dope.
Yeah, it's still really cool. And then you know what I'll use? I'll use it for making pipes or things where you need L bends or stuff like that. I mean, now you have Z modeler. So it's most of that is all, a moot point now.
Oh, JC Sculpture Studio. I got the Phenom L.
The Piapoli.
Piapoli, right. We want it to be P.O. Poly.
We desperately want it to be P.O. Poly.
There's got to be a petition somewhere. You know what I mean?
Guys.
These are the things that matter.
just send me one already.
Mm-hmm.
So I can call it whatever you want me to call it. So Basically, I just used a quick ZSphere just to get some topology, mirrored it together, and I'm just going to taper it out because this is going to be our quill. We're just going to make one of these. And it's going to be pretty simple. Nice and easy little quill. I do have some like pre-made quills that I, from a kit batch set, but sometimes you just want to make some quills. What you watching right now, Matt? What's going on? What are you watching?
Oh, dude.
You watching TV movies?
I did. Well, I mean, I saw Virus, man. Have you seen Virus?
I have not.
It is incredible. You've got to see it, dude. It is so good.
That's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, and
was
one
like 96 or something?
98, yeah.
Oh, wow.
99, actually, I think.
Okay.
And it's got one of the random Baldwins in it, like Tim Baldwin or
Tim
or I don't know, Michael. Who knows? Incredible. I mean, there is a scene where there's just like this huge kind of room filled with all these robots and are just cutting all of these people up and taking their body parts and mashing them into cybernetics, and it is disgusting and amazing.
So 1999, I mean, what were they doing in 1999?
Dude, there are some the VFX in that movie are surprisingly really good. Yeah, because they have these huge robots and they go in between VFX and practical shots. They'll have, and a lot of it's covered in darkness, and it's also just shiny materials. So they kind of had that,
shiny.
Yeah, they kind of had that down. But dude, like the animation, the giant robot on like a wide shot, he's like smashing things or hitting somebody, and then they'll punch in on the practical effect, like. And it's so amazing, dude. You've got to watch it.
Okay. Where did you watch it?
Well, I rented it for $3.
$3.
Yeah, $3.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Is that acceptable?
I mean, you could buy 3 sodas for that.
You could buy like 2 sodas for that. After tax, unless you're talking about machines. They still got machines? They have some machines.
Real quick, I've got my quill. I just took, ZSphere, turned it into Geo. Real quick. Take that Geo, right? And this is why I love ZBrush the most. Aim it where you want it to grow it. Create an insert mesh brush, new. And then boom, you got quills. Right?
Quill time. It's like tool time, but
it's like tool time
with quills.
With Tim and Al.
With Quinn, the quill man, Quailer.
Quill the quill man. That's pretty much it. So now I've got some quills, and what that's going to do is like, it's going to break up the silhouette. It's going to add some like, I always talk about 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have your big, medium, and small shapes. So this adds some nice, like thin, spiny shapes. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, nice, dude.
I want them kind of like exiting each one of these like little pustule things.
That word.
It's a great word. Let's see. What did I watch today? I watched Splinter today.
Splinter, was that good?
It's on the HBO Max. It was okay. It's okay. It's like a nerdy biologist with he's got a girlfriend that's like way too hot for him.
Oh yeah.
And it's their like anniversary, and they decide they're going to go camping. Mm-hmm. But he's like a nerdy biologist guy, so he knows nothing about camping. So he forgets like some crucial piece of camping equipment, and then they decide to go back into town to to rent a hotel, basically. His girl's a little pissed about it. Anyway, they get kind of kidnapped by some like crazy people.
Okay.
And that sets off this journey of them getting hunted by this alien. I want to say it's like some bacteria or whatever.
Huh.
And it makes and it kind of like animates them into like zombies. So it's a cool, it's a standard premise. The creature is pretty cool. It's not really a creature. It's just kind of like, zombie virus kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's good. It's good fun. It's not like Shakespeare.
What year is that?
That was, I want to say 2016.
Okay.
Splinter. So it's okay. 2008. Wow.
I don't know. 2008 just says that's just cutting it a little.
Oh yeah, 2000. Yeah, you don't want to.
You don't want to.
I don't know. 2008.
A little weird.
That was a year.
Dude, I was down with 2000. Wait, what was the first one? What'd you say first?
So this is the movie. Let me see, Splinter. This tiny little JPEG poster. That's what you get. It's so small. This is what you get. But anyway, so like this bacteria, whatever, it breaks out in like little splinters like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the title of the movie. And it was, it's fine. It's just fine. It's not like I would say like, you gotta watch it. But if you need something to watch, and it's
Yeah, one of my good friends hadn't seen Hatchet, and so we Hatchet the other night.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Just best in the entire world.
Guilty. I'm guilty. I have not seen it.
Oh, dude, you've got to see all three of them.
There's
Specifically, there's four actually. You got to watch all of them. The first one, solid, very good. Second one, solid, very good. Third one, solid, very good. Fourth, they're all just incredible. It's Victor Crowley, man. Like, they're so Kane Hodder, the guy that played like the better half of Jason, right? And all of he played like all of the Jasons after like part. I'm gonna get that wrong. I don't know.
Part 45.
Yeah, something like that. But he plays Victor Crowley, the
yeah.
And dude,
it's funny. It's like I've never seen the movie, but I know Victor Crowley.
Yeah.
That's how things just like seep into our subconscious. I will watch it. I promise you that.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me.
I believe you.
You believe me. Thank God.
We settled that real quick.
real quick. What I did, I read a book actually.
Oh yeah. Tell me about the book.
Yeah, I read
Little book. House on the Prairie.
Yes, I read that. I read that whole series.
Hey man, stop. Sorry, I'm talking to my dog.
Oh, you're like, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I read this book. It's Revival by Stephen King, and
yes. You good?
It was recommended to me from this Stephen King podcast, and I guess it seems like they're going to do a movie.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let's see. Oh, Mike Flanagan is going to adapt it. So that means long monologues. I hope they don't. I hope it doesn't change it too much because it's what I would say is a slow burn. If you read a Stephen King book, you expect a lot of crazy stuff to happen in there. but this one is a slower burn, and then it just the last couple chapters just tore me apart.
Really?
Yeah. The last 2 chapters are insane. And
so real slow burn then.
Real slow burn, and it takes and you get why it takes so long to set up. But boy, when it does, it is really intense. So fully recommend it. Check it out.
Sorry, dude, my dog is attacking me. Hey, buddy. Okay, so I mean, is it like a psychological kind of like tore you apart?
It's not. It's. I mean, it is and it isn't.
I mean, obviously, without spoiling anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but shoot, man, if you can read this book, it is very worthwhile.
Okay, give me half a second. I have to tame.
No worries. We'll make you little. We'll make us little, and then you let me know when you're back. Is your little man wanting attention? Up, he's gone. So it's just me. Hi. Hello. Hi, Jared. You should make a Gumroad ArtStation tutorial on sculpting horror creatures. I would love to. I don't have time at the moment. I would love to make a tutorial, and I'd probably do it through Gnomon Workshop, just because I've never made a proper tutorial. I've tried making tutorials in the past, and I have to admit it's really, really hard. Anyone making tutorials, I have a full appreciation for how difficult it is. Mostly editing, because I really hate listening to my own voice when you edit. Like live streaming I can do just because it's a little easier for me, but and teaching is easier for me. But like sitting down and I'm going to make a tutorial and talk about these things, a little difficult. But I would like to get better and make a tutorial.
Yeah, there's a lot of oh wait, I'm back. Am I back?
Oh, he's back. Hello.
Am I back?
He's back.
Sorry, I had to tame.
You had to tame the beast.
Mr. Slayer himself.
Slayer just wants your attention.
I know, he's just the best human man.
But I guess if I made a tutorial, what would you want me to talk about? I mean, there's no way I have time right now. But
yeah, there's a lot of prep that goes into that, like every step.
I also feel like everybody has made a tutorial on every possible thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what could I possibly have to add to that? And that's just me being in my own head about stuff. Like, you want to talk about keyshot? Well, there's like a million tutorials about keyshot. Hi, Jackie OMFG. Hello. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're talking about Tilly Taps.
We're talking about Femfamery.
Femfamery and silly goobery.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Revival. Holy moly. Just the last 2 chapters, man, they tore me apart. And it's brutal.
I just watched Station 11.
Yeah, did you finish that already?
Yeah, I finished it. Wow. Yeah, I thought it was good, man. I mean, it's definitely very really cool, though.
Shakespearean.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole motif behind the show.
Really?
Maybe, I don't know. Spoiler, I don't know. Whatever. But it's really cool how they tell the story. And I've got some friends that have read the book, and they're like, man, it's basically like
1-to-1 with the book.
Yeah, like
Wow.
big time.
Okay, well now because I watched the pilot, and I like the pilot a lot.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
I know David was disappointed because I abandoned the leftovers.
Well, it's a labor to watch that. You've gotta want it. You gotta be in the right.
For the leftovers?
Yeah, man.
Because it's heavy too, right? It's really heavy.
Oh, big time, dude.
I mean, I watched the pilot and it was very heavy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, because I mean, the show is really just about how terrible people are. You know, it's amazing, and how broken.
I don't mind that either.
No, it is so good, but it's a heavy, demanding watch.
And sometimes you need to balance it out.
Yeah.
I love some bleak shit.
Oh yeah, man.
I love bleak dramas and all of that. I think it's because I'm a sicko.
Yeah, there's something seriously wrong with you.
To both of us, my friend, we are broken people. And that's why we make monsters.
It is true, and I would not say anything else about it.
I wouldn't change it for the world. I love making monsters.
Yeah, man. The day that I realized it was a job, I was in your class, and I was like, "What the?" I was like, "How the hell?"
Yeah, man. You were in my class, and I was like, what I noticed about you right away was your enthusiasm.
Oh, dude, I was so stoked.
You loved it, and that when I'm teaching, like that's what I'm trying to reach.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like share with everybody my love of monsters. And and when I see that in other people and they're like, yeah, I'm like, yes.
Like, let's go.
Let's go. No real theme tonight. We're just we've been continuing on these guys for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to finish these up and then get to a good finish point with this.
Yeah,
and then we should definitely do some fun silliness again soon.
Okay.
But I want to I want to finish this guy just because it's like spent several weeks on him.
Yeah, I mean you're almost there. It'll be really cool whenever start getting some posing and some lighting in there.
Yeah, because we're pretty much like, when you're adding like fibers and hairs and stuff, then you're pretty much there. I don't know if you know this, but you can thicken all the geometry up just in the gizmo. Take the gizmo, hold control.
Oh, control, and then in the middle.
Scale. Yeah, you can scale those bad boys up.
Yeah, and you can do. Have you done the clipping thing?
What's the clipping thing?
You do the same thing. You hold control, but then you you do the top or the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You do the bottom clipping.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Delightful. Yeah. Let's see. You watch Station 11.
I watched Station 11. Watched Hatchet. Watched. I watched. What was it called? Sorority House Massacre, maybe.
Awesome.
It wasn't Slumber Party Massacre, so you've got to get this because they made some excellent Slumber Party Massacre movies. This is, I think, it's called Sorority House Massacre, and
Sorority House Massacre.
Yeah, it's like one of the new members of the sorority has a telekinetic link to a serial killer, and serial killer that's been locked up but has escaped, like AKA Halloween kind of thing.
1986.
Yeah, is that it?
I'm not even sure I can show the poster.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was just I wanted some 80s slasher that I hadn't seen before, and I was like,
They made
okay,
3 of these.
dude, thank God. I might have to watch the rest of them.
Okay. Well, the quills went quick. The quickly quills. I quickly quilled.
Quigley-Son's disease.
He's got Quigley down under.
He's got Quigley down under, Your Honor. There's nothing we can do.
I'm afraid we have to let him go. Yeah, he's nasty. But just they're helpful because they break up the silhouette.
Oh, yeah. Dude, yeah, that looks sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some coming out the head a little bit too.
Yeah, it's always scary doing stuff on the head. You're like, okay, this is about to change
everything.
My entire relationship with this creature.
He's got Quigley-Sons. He's got Quigley Jamos.
He's got a case of the Quiggles.
Mr. Quiggles.
Quiglinsons.
Quiglinsons. He's got the Quiggles.
Just psychobabble.
Just insanity. That's what happens over time as you become one with the madness.
Oh, yeah, man. It's great because you just do it by yourself. And then your roommate comes home and he's like, oh, I heard you on the phone earlier. You're like, I didn't call anyone.
I didn't call anybody.
What are you talking about?
Oh. Yeah, that is one thing is, you will be alone a lot.
Well, I mean, if you're doing,
You're freelance. If you're freelance
now, freelance, work from home. I mean, yeah, it can be a thing.
It can be a thing. Just being mental by yourself, just completely mental.
And then whenever you go to functions, you have to act like you're normal, but then you realize that you kind of don't care, so you don't. Whatever. Quiggles.
You're like, well, I am a madman. Yeah, it's weird going to functions and then like, I don't know about you. I just kind of stop. I don't talk about it like what you do anymore.
Yeah.
When they ask, you're like, oh yeah, I do this, and they're like, oh cool.
Oh, like yeah. So you work at Pixar and Disney, huh?
Or you animate. Yeah.
Yes, Grandma. I am an animator.
Oh, that's so cute. I love Disney. I think Disney should make a horror movie, like an animated horror movie in the style of Encanto.
Dude, Paranorman is one of my favorite movies.
Paranorman is one of the great movies of all time. My kid got hooked on Paranorman for a while.
That's awesome.
It was a great time.
What a blessing, dude.
Oh man, it was awesome. So I just got to sit and watch Paranorman over and over again. And what's awesome is that like when you watch movies over and over again, new things pop out to you every time.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
I noticed his room is just kind of, he's got all these zombie collections, but even his wallpaper is zombies, and he's got like zombie books and everything else.
That's awesome.
The love they put into that movie. I think we're good on the quills, pretty much. And right now they're a little symmetrical, so I'll break those up later. Maybe just add some asymmetric ones real quick down the middle. And then I got to make some teeth.
I like making teeth.
Pretty fun. Until you have to make like a creature with like 1 million of them.
Yeah, we don't like that part.
And you're like, ah, this is going to look so awesome 4 weeks from now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like whenever I was doing that little lizard boy, I just started doodling some scales, and I was like, oh, yeah, this will look really cool. And then, like, hand doing every single scale on every single part of the body. It was like, dude, this is taking forever.
I finally broke down and I bought some good scale alphas.
Oh, nice.
Because I just, I can't by hand sculpt those. I mean, you sculpted that whole lizard boy by hand, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Started that on the iPad, too.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. You doodled that guy on the couch one day.
Dude, I did a thing on my phone, now that I remember. I got Forger for the iPhone. Then I bought an iPad, did Cthulhu, and then just brought them both over to Zed. And I was like, dang, that's kind of fun. I don't know. There's something about sitting on the couch.
It's really nice.
And just being like kind of aggravated about like, I can't use this software, but maybe I have an idea. And, you noodle for a long time and it's like, oh, this actually could be a thing.
It could actually be okay.
But just having fun is the number one thing we always want to do.
It's hard because I've got so much muscle memory built with ZBrush now.
I know,
that, like,
dude.
working with anything else is just like,
I know, man.
I'm really
do
like to try. People are like, oh, you should pick this up. You should pick this up. I'm like, yeah, I would love to.
It is, man, but it's also just one of those things where you got to just want it and accept that it's not going to be.
It's not what you want. Yeah, it's not what you want. So you just have to.
Well, it's difficult because you don't have the keyboard, right?
Yes.
And you've got to like hold things down.
That's what bothers me the most.
And that shit is aggravating. But you can just kind of noodle around in there and be like, oh, that might be a fun idea. Or you can always open up Procreate and just be like, wow, I'm terrible.
Oh, man. Nothing makes me feel bad like Procreate.
Dude, seriously, it just hurts your feelings, man. I'm like, oh, Lord, I can't believe people actually hire me to do it.
And then you're like, oh, God, did they make a mistake in hiring me? Am I broken?
Am I the problem?
Am I the problem? And you almost want to warn them. You're like, don't hire me. I'm a terrible artist. Don't do this to me. But we do it anyway because we love it.
Oh, yeah.
So, in order to make the teeth here, all I did was duplicate the model. So I duplicated our boy here, and then duplicated it, deleted the extra geo, and now I'm just using Sculptress. Split these guys apart. So instead of like modeling new teeth from scratch, I'm just taking what's already in there, doing a little magic on it, and then I'm going to eat away at our main sculpture to reveal the teeth.
Yeah, that Sculptress shit is tight, man. With every brush too, it's got some sort of weird, like using clay buildup. It's just adding like just density and density. It's crazy, man.
Even when it first came out, I resisted it because I was like, I don't need this. It's fine. And then you spend just enough time working with it, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Game changer. It was a game changer because you could sculpt on a decimated mesh. And that was huge.
And just snake hooking parts out.
Yes.
And adding that topology,
Delightful. Delightful. It's coming out soon, isn't it? Isn't like their movies coming out soon?
Oh man, I've been watching Peacemaker, dude.
Oh, Peacemaker is amazing.
It is a tenor. I get mad every day that I wake up and there is not a new Peacemaker episode. I'm like, man, I can't.
It's what? It's what, Thursdays?
I think or Wednesdays.
I just know I'm always behind and everybody's already watched it, and I'm like, I want to watch it.
Have you seen the most recent one?
Yes. Totally. No, I wait. Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
Try not to spoil it. And
yeah, it's really, really awesome, dude.
What's up, Crucifier Cam?
Crucifier Cam.
That's so cool. It's like
dude,
that
is a metal band name right there. That's awesome.
Oh,
thank you.
And then they added the ability to sculptress when with like a partially hidden mesh.
Oh yeah,
That's
awesome.
That was a game changer.
Whenever I found out that you could do the cloth station on partially hidden meshes, I was like, oh, okay, here we go, right? You know, like trying to get that, because on my Scorpion, I have like on the gi, there's like there's the border, and they had just those little bitty stitches, and I wanted that super, super tight detail around it from a cloth simulation, you know, but the mesh is like millions of polygons. But dude, if you can just show that one part, just kind of push it around and get it.
It's like just get a little hello. Love it. What is going on? So I'm just building up around the gums now. So your teeth just don't come out of nowhere.
And they come out of a certain part, yeah.
Yeah, they come out of gums.
A very certain part. Scientists haven't been able to name or even identify the certain part that they come out of.
They don't know what it is yet.
They don't know where they're from, how they got here. Some people say we might have been using our teeth wrong our entire lives.
Oh wow!
It's a mystery. Yeah.
That's not cool. Turns out you should only be drinking milk. That's it.
So I had this idea. What if there was like a short about someone that just starts growing random appendages? But the only reason why I thought about this was because maybe his daily routine, and it's filmed in kind of like a little 1-minute segment. Like he's asleep, he wakes up, there's a shot at the floor of the bed, his feet hit the ground, he gets out of bed, puts his shoes on, makes breakfast, goes to work, comes home, drinks a beer, goes to sleep, right? But it's like the series of events, and every time he wakes up and he's got just like a pinky toe just kind of hanging off his foot. But he doesn't really notice it until he goes to put his shoes on.
And they don't
like,
right?
And he's like, bro, what the hell? That's really weird. I'm super busy today. I can't go see anyone. I'm embarrassed. And then he's got anxiety, but it's still the same formulaic, like the cycle.
Maybe he's got like a little like a limp.
He's got an extra pinky toe. He's got an extra limp. Maybe he wakes up and there's like a double elbow or something weird, right?
He's got an elbow on his elbow?
Yeah, maybe he's got like elbow squared. There's an elbow inside.
2 elbows on his elbow.
Dude's got a couple of elbows, right?
That's so weird.
And it's not like some horrific thing. It's just weird stuff like that. And I don't know the point of it yet. But I was watching a TV show or something and just showed a close up of some feet, and I was like, that'd be really weird if you woke up one day and you had an extra toe, and then maybe
that's an actual genetic defect is polydactylism.
Yes, it is. So what if he's like his genes are not evolving, but they're becoming.
It's
extra.
revealing his
Right.
it's like it's been dormant in him.
Yeah, and then he's got like some extra teeth coming out of the bottom of his gums, so he develops kind of like some sort of weird like speech impediment. And then before you know it, he's just this huge abomination that everybody hates, and he goes full Frankenstein. He's like rah, and then he starts murdering people. Right.
Let's write this story.
Okay, yeah, let's write the story.
I like it.
We'll call it
polydactylism.
We'll call it Tim the Toe Man Taylor. Just to bring back the Tool Time jokes.
His neighbor and his neighbor. Ah!
Listen, I don't know a lot of things, but I do know that everybody loves a good Tim Allen joke.
Everybody loves a good joke. So I think I'm ready for a tongue, and I actually had an idea for the tongue.
Oh no! Is it going to be? What's it going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be nasty. Check this out, and I gotta scroll through my ref real quick, but because birds terrify me.
Oh yeah, birds are scary.
Birds are scary, and they're
and they're not real. So don't.
No, they're not real. Thank God.
That.
Thank God, because every time I see a bird, I see a bird, and I'm like, I have to remember it's not real. It's in my head. Scary.
It's in my head.
It's in my head. And I have to remind myself, like, okay, birds aren't real. Birds aren't real. Adults. Yeah. Yeah. Have you? Okay. I'm going to pull up some reference real quick.
I just want to know if it's going to upset me.
No, it won't be that upsetting. I promise. I have to warn people when I'm about to look at research, because they're like, "Oh,
save this."
There it is. I found it.
Okay, what are we looking at here?
Okay, so let me pull this. Let me make this big. All right. So what I learned about birds and why birds are terrifying is that they have serrated beaks.
Yeah.
That's a part of it. Like, that's a goose.
Yeah.
Look at that goose.
Oh,
look at that. He's got teeth in there. Like, those are serrated.
Yeah. Well,
and those are they make that ribbing all the way up.
Don't geese have blown xenomorph mouth, like the mouth?
No, that's like moray eels.
Oh,
eels.
Okay.
Eels have.
Dude, I thought there was a bird that had this xenomorph.
That would be
mouth.
terrifying. But hear me out. This is what I'm going to do for our guy. Is look at this is a heron, and they've got an actual spiked tongue.
Like a crab leg inside of the mouth.
Yeah, look at that.
That is insane.
And these are actually made of keratin, so it's made up of the same stuff as your hair and nails.
Right.
So it's like a stabby tongue. So I mean,
okay,
it is just horrifying.
No, dude, type in
what am I typing?
Dude, type in scary mouth. I'm telling you, bro, this shit is awesome, bro.
Scary mouth?
Yeah, scary mouth.
Goose. Goose. Okay.
Goose. Scary mouth.
Yeah, they're terrifying. Oh my God.
Look at that. That's like not a tongue. That's like some hard surface that. Yeah, share some of that goodness over there. Look at that.
Look at this. Look at this goose mouth.
Dude, that's evil in the form of a goose.
Even the webbing right here, that's just awesome.
It's incredible, man.
But they are terrifying animals. But also they have this this penguin here. He's got that serrated.
Yeah.
He's actually got fibers on his tongue too.
Yeah, it's like a macro cat tongue. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Just awful.
it's cool to see the similarities in anatomy too.
I see you, Buttons. Buttonzilla, I see you. Yeah, yeah. Terrifying bird mouths. So that's like what I fear the most are birds.
Oh, really?
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
What are you scared of, Matt? Do you have an animal that you're scared of?
The ocean.
Oh, I'm scared of the ocean.
That is. I mean, dude, that's not our world, man. We're real, dude.
No, the ocean terrifies.
Being out, it's over. If you're by yourself out in the middle of the ocean, the saying is dead in the water.
It's a bad situation.
Yeah, it's over. Everybody has seen Jaws.
Like I remember going swimming once, and I was a little kid, and I remember getting sucked into the riptide.
Oh, that's
my
scary.
Dad had to like come and rescue me.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember that fear.
Oh, dude, yeah, because you lose control, and it's like, oh, like literally, I am being taken away.
You're being taken away.
Mm-hmm. Like I've floated the river. I've floated rivers where the water's too high, and if you fall off, man, it'll just take your ass.
And so that's when I had a healthy respect for the ocean, and I don't go in the ocean anymore.
No, I'm never gonna be doing that.
Oh, sir. I see people going to the beach, and I'm like, you're all fools.
He's literally sleeping in Raleigh right now.
In Raleigh, yeah.
We're gonna wake his ass up.
Great Cthulhu will destroy you. Yeah. So, the ocean terrifies me. Most things can be terrifying if you like look hard enough.
I have an incredible fascination with spiders and absolutely hate them. I will scream like a little girl and run away. If I see a big scary spider, I'm like, oh my God.
I'm assuming that arachnophobia did the same damage to you that it did to me.
Oh, dude, come on.
Which is an amazing movie, and now
it is incredible.
It's a great movie, but I cannot watch it anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Eight-Legged Freaks, I can watch it.
Oh well, that's fun.
Eight-Legged Freaks is good fun, and what's fun is the spiders are kind of goofy.
Yeah.
The spiders are kind of goofy, so it kind of makes it less intense.
I made that giant Goliath bird eater model.
I remember that. That was very scary.
I made that. I even sent it off to Eric Keller, and he was like, "Dude, looks great." He gave me some critique on some of the anatomy and stuff, and he was like, "Man, looks nice." So that was cool because I spent a lot of time trying to get some solid
spider anatomy.
Yeah, spider anatomy and reference and all that stuff, and I did that with the idea of this, I want to do this shot to where, it's kind of inspired by I can't remember which Ernest it was.
Scared Stupid?
It wasn't Scared Stupid. It might be the Ernest Saves Christmas. There's this scene where he's got to he has to cross through a border, maybe a country border. He's got to go somewhere, but he's driving this truck, and there's a bunch of stuff in the back of his truck, and he's got a tarp over it, right? And he gets pulled over at the border, and they're like, "Hey, we need to see what's back there," and Ernest doesn't want him to see what it is, and he's just got a bunch of water hoses back there, but he starts shaking them, and he's like, "These snakes are poisonous," right? And it stemmed from that just because of the things moving under the tarp in the truck. And there was this truck that parked outside of my apartment at North Hollywood, every day for 2 years. And I was like, man, what if there was just a trap door spider in the bed of the truck under a tarp? And some guy's coming back from a construction job or whatever. And one day he notices in his rearview mirror there's like some movement under the tarp, and he's like, that's weird. And so whenever he parks, he kind of gets out, and it's just like a long shot, just kind of gets out, goes back, looks under the tarp, and the giant spider just pops out, trapdoors him, and brings him back under the tarp. The whole truck's kind of shaking, like, and he's like, ah! Cut to black.
Was that a spider? Was that in Eight-Legged Freaks? I think they had a trapdoor spider in there.
They did. They did.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I loved that movie, and I wish I got a sequel.
What was? Wasn't
that
there?
That was Scarlett Johansson was in that movie.
Yeah, and is that the one with David Duchovny and
David Arquette?
Okay, because there was one with David Duchovny, but it was aliens and it wasn't spiders. And it came out, I think, like the same year, and it was kind of the same vibe, but one was like aliens, one was spiders. Wow. I think I might be forgetting.
Guess what year Eight-Legged Freaks came out?
2004.
Yeah, that was pretty close. That was it was 2002. Man.
Wow.
But like, I don't think people understand the damage that arachnophobia did to people.
Oh, dude!
Like straight up, I was not afraid of spiders until that movie.
I mean, even from the get-go, whenever they have that shot of the football player's helmet and that spider goes in, I'm like, dude, I mean, oh my God, it's so scary.
God, just and for the audience, there's nothing worse than knowing something, that the player, that our heroes don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those movies to where this is where slashers get lost, right? Is that you basically have two movies. You're either like rooting for the people or you're rooting for the monster, right? And in that movie, you're like, oh God, no. Like, I don't care.
John Goodman.
Yeah.
You're rooting for him though, because he's amazing. Like, God, that movie still haunts me to this day.
There's a movie that I watched as a child on TNT back in the day, straight to TV. It's called Ticks.
Ticks. I think I remember that.
I have been wanting to rewatch that because I remember how disgusting and scary it was. And it's just a giant practical schlockland monster fest,
1993.
But huge ticks sucking blood and eating people. That's gross and scary, dude. Yeah, they were big.
Oh, this had Seth Green. It had Seth Green in it.
Dude, Seth Green. Man, yeah, that was like a prime time, dude. Idle Hands, that was great.
Peter Scolari. And Barry. Oh, and it's got what's his name? Alfonso Ribeiro in it.
Who's that?
Carlton from Fresh Prince.
Oh, wow. Yeah, straight to TV, right?
Wow. 1993. Ticks. 1990. Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think it had.
Oh, that is gnarly, though.
Oh, dude, yeah, look at that. I mean, they're huge. There was I remember there being some really scary lighting.
No, that actually looks really good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, some
cool look at that. That is
cool stuff in there. Yeah, that's bad. No, they got much bigger than that.
Oh, that is gnarly. Ugh.
Yeah, I want to rewatch that one. That one's been on my mind for a while.
You take something that's universally terrifying, and you build a little story around it, and then boom, movie. You make a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's not the 90s anymore.
I know. Now they've all got to be superheroes.
Dude, I mean, imagine if both of us were doing this in like the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I missed my era.
Same. Yeah, for sure.
It would have been pretty rad to like have gotten to work for like Stan Winston.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. That would have been have been pretty cool. But we can't help that.
No, not at all.
We can't help that. But we're doing what we're doing. We're working on some pretty cool stuff. And then monsters.
Love monsters.
Love monsters.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's.
Yeah, monsters or creatures.
Let me see here, because I would say that a monster, like what we just saw, right? Like ticks, that'd be like a creature.
That's a creature.
Right. But you would call like the xenomorph or the predator, what would you call them?
Well, xenomorph is a creature, right?
But it's you're totally right. That's a full-blown creature.
He's full blown. I've always thought of it like this. Like creatures are unthinking animals of like nature.
Yeah, but Rawhead Rex is a monster.
Rawhead Rex?
Yeah. Or like to be oh man, brain fart. Stan Winston Pumpkinhead.
Yes. Yeah,
Pumpkinhead is a monster, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He gets like summoned by like the witchcraft and stuff.
Right.
Like that. So he's on a vengeance, right?
There's a supernatural element to it.
Yeah, so monsters all the way for sure.
Yeah, I think like when we think about monsters can also be people.
Well, of course.
As well. Like Frankenstein, right? Frankenstein.
Scooby-Doo taught us that all monsters are people, Jerry.
That's true. That's true. And it taught us to be suspicious of old people. Like, yeah, monsters are pretty rad. Like Wolfman, right? Wolfman has no control over what he becomes.
I mean, just let me have it.
He has no, he can't stop it. It's a curse. Right? So he feels guilty even. Frankenstein, right? Not his choice to be, mangled into a living corpse.
God, imagine just waking up one day and you're like, Jesus, what the hell happened? I'm crazy. Oh, I'm ugly. Wait, what's going on? I mean, I was ugly before, but whew, now.
Like this isn't my hand.
I smell bad.
Why am I made of different people?
Why am I made of different Going to askjeeves.com. Why am I made of different people?
If Frankenstein was around in the internet era,
yeah,
Ask Jeeves.
You may is me.
And then he goes on LimeWire.
Oh, dude, he's going on LimeWire. He's going on BearShare. He's on Kazaa. He's getting that new Metallica album just because is throwing.
He's got his own MySpace.
Yeah, of course. He loves it.
Kids don't know how good we had it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, we really did, because everything was much harder back then. Because it's like, I can't even remember what it was. It was like an hour ago. Someone's like, oh, yeah, like, well, I mean, just like what you're doing now. You're like, oh, what year did that come out? And you can just look that shit up.
I know, man. God bless it.
The days of pagers and payphones.
Oh, man. Remember having to carry a bunch of quarters around so you could call your mom?
Mm-hmm. Now call me before sun goes down.
Gotta call me. And like, if you wanted to get picked up somewhere, your parents drop you off at the arcade or or the comic book store, and you want them to pick you up, you had to call and just like hope that you called at the right time. You happened to be by the phone.
Mm-hmm.
AC showing my age. Yes, I am an old I am one of the olds now.
Oh, dude, my dad would just drop me off at the comic store, and then whenever I got old enough, I'd just ride my bike down there, and I'd just
Yeah.
stay there.
Oh, that was pure freedom.
Man, it was called Enterprise Comics, and there was a giant sign outside, and it was just the Enterprise from Star Trek. It was awesome.
That's so rad.
Yeah, we used to. Man, what did we play, dude? Yeah, and then Pokemon. Whenever Pokemon started hitting, we would play Pokemon tournaments in different places because it was a card game.
It was a game for children.
It was a game that swept the entire world.
Dude, I remember when Pokemon hit.
Oh, me too, man.
And I had to you had to stop what the hell you were doing. Whatever you were into, you had to stop because Pokemon.
Because pocket monsters.
Because Pokemon. Oh man, and what a way to get me on board was it's monsters in your pocket. And I was like, oh sweet.
Yeah, dude, because the another brain. It wasn't Max. The little toys that would there were the girl and boy versions. No, they were like the girl and the boy versions.
Oh, that was Mighty Max.
Mighty Max, not Mad Max, dude. And they had a full-blown TV show and stuff. Man, I loved Mighty Max.
But there was talk that someone might bring him back. Anyway, for those who don't know what Mighty Max was, they were these little like clamshell toys.
Yeah.
These were so sick.
It was
because you open them up and okay, first of all, awesome skull-shaped monster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you open it up and it's Frankenstein's lab.
Yeah, come on.
And then you had Mighty Max, who I don't know if you can't see this, but he had his hat on backwards.
It's on backwards and it's red, dude.
It was on backwards, and sometimes he had it on the side.
Backwards. Sometimes, if he
was cheeky, it was on the side.
Yeah.
But so Mad Max, Mighty Max toys were the bomb.
Yeah.
And I had I had a lot of these.
Yeah, I mean, you had creepy crawlers.
Creepy crawlers.
But
oh no, you know what I'm thinking of? Monsters in My Pocket.
Oh yeah, dude.
Now, these were these were just little molded.
Yeah.
Molded
by it.
Molded, but they were just little molded monsters. And the detail for these things, you could you put a quarter in and get a little monster, monster in my pocket, but they had all of them, and it was such a good time for monsters because these guys, oh man, they had everything. They had a Godzilla type dude and a griffin, and this was I think this is definitely part of the genesis of why so much. This little gremlin dude, I love this little gremlin dude.
Look at him.
So I had all those.
Yeah, I had all that stuff. I was really into the turtles. I had so many turtles. So many turtles.
So many turtles. A buddy of mine who had all of them, and he was one of those. He had all of them, but he was also a collector. So he had all the boxes for every turtle.
Amazing.
And he kept them all in his closet. Stacks of boxes for every possible turtle. And I'm sure at some point his mom made him throw them all out or something.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Checking in. We didn't do our 9:00 check-in, Matt.
9:00. I mean, it's
we're way past that now.
It's 11:30 my time.
We just keep going without the check-in.
We can check in if everyone wants to check in. I mean, let's check in. Yeah, let me see what's going on. I mean, hey, what are we doing?
All right. What? Where are we? Okay, so
you gave him
I gave him the harpoon tongue,
the knife fight tongue. Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, the silhouette looks great from the front too. That's it's pretty scary from the front. Yeah, it looks feral, it's got
aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, those
No.
fingers. God.
Yeah, long fingers are terrifying.
Yeah, it's super scary.
I'm gonna have to do a dude, like just like a dude with long fingers, like really long, spindly fingers. Oh, okay. So got the quills in there, got the teeth, got the harpoon tongue. I need to color the eyes, and I think I'm ready for like topology.
Oh yeah, so are you still Dynamesh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to pick up that trick because you talked about asymmetrical Z-remeshing, right?
I don't know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
No. No, the new trick that the new workflow they have is just control clicking the timeline Z-remeshing and projecting from history.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't understand that.
Dude, just do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, just control click on your timeline. You
Okay.
got to show your timeline first.
I gotta. There we go.
There you go. So control click that.
I'm gonna save it real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna duplicate it just in case.
You get a quick save. We're gonna duplicate. It's perfect.
Okay, so just control click where I'm at, right?
Yep, and it'll turn.
Okay.
And then yeah, go to Z-remesh. Hit up on symmetry.
Hit it up on sim. Okay. We'll just do a what 10?
Yeah, just whatever. It's really just to show the purpose of it.
Okay, so I did that. It's gonna remesh. Let's pull up yours. Why don't you check in while that's going in?
Cool. Yeah, I've just been adding a lot of. Well, I mean, crap. Let's check it out.
That's gnarly.
So
did his head flatter?
Yeah.
Did you flatten that head?
No, this is how he was whenever it came in.
Oh, okay.
And whenever I started looking at the shot renders, he much more powerful with a large ass head.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is basically what I've been doing recently is these kind of these like forms right here.
Oh, weird.
Just that connective tissue. Adding just some weird language in there. You know, because you've got like just kind of flat tube areas in here that I'm also kind of pumping up and giving body before I really kind of go in and.
I like that the tentacles look like they're made of other tentacles.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like you get kind of lost in there, right?
I like that.
I'm glad, man. Glad you like it. Yeah, it's just supposed to feel like they're just all like what's happening. They're all just kind of folded up in there.
All right, so I've got my Mac.
Yeah, man. Then just go to, project and then click for project from history.
Project and then project from history.
Right there.
History.
Boop.
What? That's so weird.
Yeah. And so you just click that.
Weird.
It projects, you duplicate, and it works like a charm. You don't have to duplicate your tools anymore. You don't have to do
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so all that like duplicate, project on top, all that's gone.
It's gone. It's just
way.
Yeah, it's just stored.
That's awesome. Sick. All right, so while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna you just sculpt and tell me.
I'm gonna tell you.
Why don't you just tell me?
Yeah. No, I'm really just doing like the, like we said, just fun zone stuff. I really kind of lock in this kind of skeletal form here. Like orbital socket. Or it did. Well, here, I can show you. Like this eyes looked like. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to pump in like, separate geo, shit like that, starting to land some of those forms and then
Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Because right now he looks a little like innocent because his eyes is round. Can you like piss him off a little bit?
I mean, he's kind of pissed off.
I mean, you just woke him from his great slumber. He's gonna be pissed off about that.
1 second. I'm trying to show this. Yeah, so I was thinking like his eyes are tiny, and if you light it from the top, he still has the angry brow. But if you you mean like the actual eyelid shape? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm supposed to subdivide, right? And then project.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean it's the same workflow. It's just it stores it right in.
Oh, got it. Okay. And then. Oh, I see. Okay, now it's doing it. I didn't subdivide before.
It's the one thing you've got to do.
It's that one thing you got to do in order to make it work.
Dude, the view thing that they've added is awesome.
What do you think? Is there
right?
a view? Oh, the little like
view sets. Yeah.
Yep. The little view sets.
It's so sick.
So nice.
It's like, oh, I just want to, focus on this, or now I want to see it in context, that kind of thing.
It's so cool. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I tried that smoke trick of sculpting the volume.
Oh yeah.
Worked awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I was thinking about something like that today. I was like, man, there's just so many things.
So many good uses for that. But I was thinking about it for like Creepy Moon Boy. If we ever want to go back to Creepy Moon Boy, because now I can have him like sitting on a cloud.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect, dude.
He's like peeking into the window and he's like sitting in a cloud.
I mean, I would have to completely start over.
With your Creepy Moon Boy?
Yeah, I made Silly Moon Baby.
You went Creepy Moon Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it said boy.
Baby.
The age, I don't know.
It's all.
I'm walking here.
Oh.
But yeah, I have this thing all like UV'd and textured and shit like that, but I'm thinking that I'll probably have to go back to dye mesh and get some of that super killer detail in the head area.
Just to be able to push it as hard as you want to go.
Yeah, because I mean, I can subdivide it one more time, but then we'd be at whatever, is it 6?
Your overall poly count's like 65 million.
Well, there's the rocks and stuff. All these extra rocks and stuff that I have in the scene are, I think this is 5.3, and I've got like 4 or 5 of those kind of scattered around in the rest of the scene. I also got this water. I need to open up
the water or like a cave.
Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing about like those textures, right? There's only a handful of things that really go everywhere.
Everything is Verneuil.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Verneuil tiles anyway.
Cellular patterns. I mean,
yeah, I like
hexagons.
I like that Webbies a lot.
Yeah, I want to.
I like some bumpies on there, like some little skin bumpies.
Yeah, I want to put. I don't want to do like skin texture, right? I played around with it a little bit, but I'm worried that whenever I print that, like I would. Whenever you print that, I'm just not sure how it would come through. Yeah, and I'm not sure if it'd take away from it, like being. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll print like a bunch of different versions. I'm just going to print it wherever it's at this weekend and just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just to see, like, hey, I want to print it out of the box, right? I want to open up the printer, leave the settings at default, and just.
You're going to like print the default cube.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll print the test cube and level the bed and all that stuff. But I just, I printed this thing. I don't even know, like what, a year and a half, 2 years ago, right? My miniature version of this thing. And right, so I just want to see.
We're done cooking. Check it out. So all I did was, like you said, man, is just project history now.
It's sick, right?
It's wild.
Dude, for some reason, it just feels like it even works better. Like you're not getting like, I don't know what it is.
I mean, I should probably store a morph target next time, because they usually recommend storing a morph target before you project. But I mean, holy hell, man, That
Yeah,
is,
it's pretty cool, right?
and then just being able to just grab topology and just blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So cool. And what's great is I think I'm ready to start like doing some skin details on it.
Okay.
Maybe getting some poly paint.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, I mean, have you brought it into key shot just to see how the light's reading?
You know what? I could do that right now.
Because I mean, you're at that point, like you need to see what's up.
I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I know how to push pretty hard in there.
Oh yeah, I'm not questioning it. It's just how it goes. Because that ZBrush, man, it can trick you a little bit.
It can. It can be a bunch of lies. There we go. But he's coming along.
Yeah, nice.
Let me flatten that camera a little bit. There we go. Yeah. And in fact, let's even have a little bit of fun while we're here. This is kind of my favorite part. Is let's grab an environment. I usually just grab my kind of like standard, go to boop. This guy goes way back into keyshot history. So I'll take that, blur it, just dim it down, add light, spotlight, dim it down now. Gotta dim it down now. It's always kind of my favorite part is lighting, because then it can,
man. Oh yeah, that's why I liked Dev and lighting so much, and whenever I was doing a lot of production,
I don't think I have the patience for that. To look Dev and light, like you got to be. Although the renders are much faster now, but I just like sculpting. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, nice, dude.
There's a little bit of fly in there. You know what I mean?
It definitely does have that feeling.
I think if I put some like fibers kind of down these cracks too, kind of coming out the nose, that'll add some nice breakup to the face too.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I think we're getting there. We're getting ready.
We like it.
We're getting ready for the nasty. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay. Go ahead and save this right quick.
Sometimes you just gotta pop a skin shader on top.
You just got to see what it does.
You got to see what it's doing. Like
you want to know what it's doing.
Up the translucency a little bit, up the roughness.
Jared, I meant to ask you something.
Is it deeply invasive?
It is incredibly invasive, and it's upsetting, and everything is. Are you ready?
Excellent. That's how I like it.
So like whenever the one thing that I have noticed about scale with this software is that Dynamesh is entirely reliant on real world scale. So like whenever you're starting, like for instance, if I have a huge ass model and I'm trying to Dynamesh like high res, it'll cap out. But if I shrink it all, it's in a smaller grid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll obviously Dynamesh properly at ZBrush's preferred scale. But
Right.
like whenever you start things out, are you starting them with some sort of certain landmark, like in a
So
subtool?
you mean
Or
like like when I'm blocking stuff in, or like let's say I'm starting a project for the first time?
yeah, at the very beginning.
Like at the very least, like I'll start with like basic geo like this, like just grab the star.
Yeah, because the star's a good point of reference, right?
Yeah, it's a good point of reference. Just toss it in there. And then supposedly in the other thing in Scale Master.
Scale Master.
I know, so rad. I wish it was about scales and not actual physical scale. But you can actually set ZBrush scale unify.
Okay.
So that will actually unify ZBrush to the scale of your object.
Oh.
So that'll fix both your brush size and your
real? Is that a real thing?
Suppose I have not tested it out, but like
you're not making that up.
No, I just watch Michael Pavlovich videos all day.
You're making stuff up, aren't you? No, that's awesome, dude.
So supposedly that does it, but like the what I demo and when I show students like how scale works is, I'll just grab a head, right, and I show them like, okay, here's what Dynamesh does at like standard 128 resolution, because it comes in at 128, right? So I'll Dynamesh at 128. And now it has progressive projection on it anyway. So like it'll kind of behave almost like Sculptress. So it'll hold that resolution in there. Anyway, so here's 128, right? Okay. So then when you scale it up, right, you're now scaling up beyond the bounding box of ZBrush.
Yeah.
Right. And so then if you Dynamesh it again, you'll notice how dense it is. Right. So it is scale dependent. So that's the same resolution, just scaled up. But then when I scale it down, and let's say I scale it way down, same resolution, and you get blob. So what that is,
right.
Yeah. So that's the grid that ZBrush is projecting onto your model. So your silhouette is here, right? So ZBrush is projecting a grid, onto your model whenever it's doing that. So what you're doing when you're Dynameshing is you're effectively changing the scale of this grid that it's projecting.
Yeah. I mean, totally. That was an incredible explanation. I definitely know that. And
it is an incredible explanation. Thank you.
It's seriously, it's revolutionary.
But that's essentially how it's working. It's all scale based. So I think what you're doing when you're unifying ZBrush scale, see, like I just hit it, and you can see it's like tweaking. And then if I re-Dynamesh, now it's not doing that projection. But since we've unified it, the same rules will still apply, that if I scale it up, I'll get a denser mesh. So this is also what happens when your draw size hits that limit. Right, like say you import a model from Maya, you can turn off that dynamic draw size, and you'll get your full scale brush back.
Right. I mean, yeah, I've been having because the reason why I asked that is because Robert McVeigh, I am doing the
Robert. Yes, Robert. He's doing the Cthulhu.
Yeah, well, the reason why I asked that is because in production work, some studios will have it be like your model is huge. Yeah. And at that point, it's like,
you're working in real world scale. ZBrush is
nothing you can do about that. And so I was asking, like whenever you start something in Z, because sometimes I'll just kind of like float around and I'll bring a model in and I'm like, oh, it's really big and it doesn't dynamesh. It must be too big. You know what I mean? And so like whenever you start, you kind of have like basically, and I do the same thing. I'll always like insert a sphere or append like a Z-sphere, and I'm like, oh, that thing is tiny. Like my dude is huge. But if you pop in a sphere and let's see what it does here. Okay, perfect.
Are you in Maya scale or ZBrush scale?
No, I mean like in ZBrush, if you just insert like a star or a sphere, and if it shows up like big like this, like you're safe, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes if you're working on like a 20-foot monster or a 30-foot monster in a movie, it's like, oh well, there's my sphere. That's bad.
It's like this tiny little thing.
It also makes it harder, in my experience. Don't write any dissertations on it, but the larger the model, the more difficult it is in general.
Yeah, I agree.
Cavity maps, displacement maps, any of that shit you're trying to get out of there, it's tough, man. Alex, what's up, man?
What's up? So what are you doing? Are you, because obviously you design, you sculpt in ZBrush scale to begin with, and then you scale it up in Maya for topo and projection, or?
It depends on what stage of production you're going into, but ultimately, like, okay, so let's just relive it like how we ran it back in the day. It'd be like you have a designer, let's say, you or me or whoever, Mason.
Me? Oh, that's nice.
Kyle, Steve, all those wonderful guys. They made a design model, right? But if we're going into pipeline, we have already established our scale. That's the very first thing you're wanting to do, and everybody has to agree on it. And there are a lot of arguments about real world scale and not real world scale, like making things much smaller. And
it's just cheating it, right? It depends. Well, does it depend on like what it has
it's all okay. So if your shot is going to have some sort of, in my experience, again, if your shot is going to have some actual simulation VFX, the smaller the scale, the easier the simulation, right?
I have heard that. Yeah.
Not easier, but more effective. It's like, hey, I don't have to wait 30 hours for the sim to run because it's
it's trying to calculate
30 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times what will happen is you'll scale all of your scene down just to give it to VFX so that they can run a sim, and then you cover doing some camera tricks time. And it's a night.
You'd think that would have been like resolved by.
Well, I think it's more I don't know, like whenever you have, years and years of pipeline developed and, millions and millions of tools and workflow, it's like, well,
it's hard to move a big shit like that.
We can't change it. You know what I mean? And I was, I've been in a couple of studios where even startup studios were like, well, we want to work in real world scale. And again, I'm not the law. Okay. I just want to be super clear. I have a lot of experience doing character creature, looking for production and lighting, but I am not the law. And anybody that is a serious look dev and lighting artist will tell you it's all shot dependent. Everything is fluid, right? Everything is fluid. There is no ground zero. There is no ground rule in look dev, man. But if it looks good, it is good.
Like from what I know, like how ILM works is it's all shot dependent, right?
Oh, yeah.
Shot dependent. Ultimately, you're just producing 2D images.
Well, people don't understand that whenever you get, I can't even, I don't even think I answered the original question, but I'm going on a branch off.
We're having fun. It's okay.
Yeah, people don't understand that, like, so there are shot specific rigs, sculpts, textures, shaders. I mean, you're like the last like high level production I worked on. I was look dev lead, creature lead on this trilogy of films. We worked on the first one, and I made this, giant, like 10-foot monster for a film. And there is nothing you can do. The ideology of the index of refraction for glass being whatever it is, 1.5 or 1.6.
Yeah.
Skin, it's what, none of that matters. It matters that the foundation, the science behind it. That is what I love the most about look dev, is that you get to study like material properties.
Actual physics.
And whenever you're working on creatures, you get to just look at animals, study how they work, look at their locomotion, where do they live. All of that shit is just, it's the most fascinating,
like how much butter can they get in their mouths,
right? Because it's Land O'Lakes, and they can't believe that it's not butter. It's insane. These poor animals aren't even eating
so much butter.
No, but like
we're very serious people.
That's what I'm saying, is in production, man, like you can't be married to shit like that because you want it to look good. And if you gotta, because, okay, that's how it works. Oh, lighting's been approved, but they need a tweak on the material. And then as the look dev artist, you're like, damn, they basically rely on each other. The lighting and the look dev rely this, because what we're trying to do is imitate real life. We would love to replicate it perfectly, make it look amazing, but we're limited to tracing, CPUs, GPUs.
It's a cheat
software.
Anyway.
It's all a cheat. And you work your butt off lighting and look dev to make it as good as possible, and then in compositing, it's just a whole nother world. It might come out the back end looking like a trash can, or it might look like the most beautiful shot you've ever seen. But having that control and stuff is the most important part.
I mean, that's really who you're doing it for, is the compositors, right?
Oh yeah, and well, I mean, you're doing it all for the art director to tell you it sucks. But sorry, not the art director, the client.
Yeah.
Because, dude, another thing, artist side, we're all good. Everybody working artist side, we're artists. We love this. We know what we're doing, and we're open to learn. We're open to all this stuff. But the outside, like, you get the big money guys. They're like, well, it just looks it doesn't look like I want it to look like. And then the art director's upset because the art director's like, damn, dude, I mean, it looked great, but now we're going to make it weird. For instance, the Mist TV show. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
We all
remember that experience is embedded into all of us.
Is embedded deep
into our scarred psyches.
Can you scale down your larger scale, high detail project prior to export and not lose detail? That's actually really interesting. That is a great question because things will happen depending on what software you use to scale your model.
All kinds of weird breaks.
I have noticed that whenever in production, scaling is always an issue. It's always an issue because you're working with ZBrush and then you're working with usually Autodesk properties, right? And Mudbox and Maya, they operate on the same scale.
They talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're good with each other.
And so whenever I have a model in ZBrush, and then I bring in my model from Maya for reference, I will scale it in ZBrush just to know like the random number of units that I scale it in Maya, because it's usually scaling by like 56 or 30 or 8. It's like a huge amount, and some of that detail will be ruined in ZBrush just from normal deterioration, like from the normals. It's like it's getting tighter or it's getting larger, right? But if you can bring that high res model into Mudbox or Maya, you can kick it up the exact units and it will be fine. And then that becomes your that becomes your production model.
You would design model essentially in ZBrush and then take that into Mudbox, right?
Well,
for look dev.
Well, I mean, not anymore. I'm all substance now for sure.
Oh, so you don't even like bother with Mudbox anymore?
No, dude. I mean, I have adapted a workflow to where I've just made my own custom materials and substance, and if I want to texture something, I'll just drop it on there. I'll be like, yeah, gooey skin, scary skin, wet skin, it's like you just drop it all on there. But where substance is so powerful in that way, that's awesome. But the hand painting still is difficult for me, right? Comparatively to Mario.
Like how the software works, or just like you feel that's something you need to work on?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like in Mudbox, I hand painted creatures for 3 or 4 years professionally, and then whenever substance started getting on our radar, it was like, okay, I can really see like where it's going, and now it's great. It's great. I love it to death, but still, the painting aspect of it, I mean, it's so juicy in Mudbox, man. Just being able to easily paint.
Is that like something where you would just start like a poly paint in Mudbox and then just carry that over to Substance?
Yeah, because I mean, what would happen? What would happen is, especially whenever, well, depending on the project, off of concept art, you would just have the poly paint. You would lock those values in, export them as a texture, and project that onto your model, and those are your values. That's your ground zero right there. You're like, okay, this is where I need to be. I love I love I love the painting in Mudbox, but I mean, dude, substance is.
Well, I mean, substance is substance, but
it's insane.
Like, Mudbox Mudbox hasn't gone through any significant like updates like that in years,
dude. Not in like
they haven't really
years and years.
And they development at all.
And I mean, ZBrush has it, But the whole reason I brought this up was because
David, hello, David.
Let me get. Oh yeah. Well, the whole reason why I brought it up with the scaling thing was because in production, like let's say that I wanted to take this model out of ZBrush instead of having to run it through Mari or run it through Substance. I've already got UVs on it. I'm already working on my production model. I want to get a curvature map out of it. I want to get an AO map out of it, and I want to use that in some texturing. You know what I mean? Man, the scale is super important. It's if you're working a large scale, you will have issues. Dude, getting displacement maps out of that creature, I mean, it was insane. I was like, dang, like what are we gonna do? Because displacements are, scale dependent. But it's an incredible tool, but it's just one of those things to be conscious of. If you're going into production, if you plan on going into production, kick it over as soon as you can. Just see if it's gonna work. You know what I mean? Because you can ultimately just unify your whole thing and make it small. Like
scale everything down anyway.
Right? If you're not gonna rig it and do all this other stuff, But there's a lot of conversations to be had in production teams. There's, it's one of those conversations that people.
But that's why it takes a mountain of people to do stuff.
Oh, yeah.
In CG at all. That's why there's a wall of people, in the credits.
And everything is a discussion, which becomes, it's always cool. Like, oh, well, I have this idea, do it like this. And then someone that's been doing it for 20 years is like, well, one thing we can look out for is this. And then maybe there's a new guy that's like, oh, well, there's some new software that kind of counteracts that. I mean, that's a cool thing about VFX too.
Or I mean, like you have
all problem solving.
Yeah, pipeline TDs they're like, oh, I'll just write you software that does this, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
The downside of that is they get married to that software, and then it's just in the pipeline now forever, and it's and it's archaic.
And that is money.
And that is money. Yeah. So, checking in, we're at 10 o'clock. At the 10 o'clock hour.
Is it time?
No, it's not time yet. Are you at time? It's time for a check-in.
It's time for a check-in.
But I've basically been wrapping it all in skin. Just like, fine skin details.
Oh yeah, you've been doing some you've been doing some cellular little stuff.
Yeah, just some cellular just to, break up the skin. I think next week we'll probably get to poly paint.
I mean, yeah, dude, you could poly paint that and start posing
it. Poly paint it now if I wanted.
I mean, you can. You
can do that.
You are allowed to do that.
You can do that if you want. But there's a little bit of fly in this guy, and I like it. It's all about combining as many animals as possible.
Seems like one of your streams is having a connection issue.
Is that, I wonder if that's you or me? Is that me?
Between the both of us, I would say it's either you or me.
If we eliminate all the options, it's probably one of us.
It's one of us.
It's probably me since it's running off of, I don't know.
And
we are operating out of the back of a Jamba Juice, so
everybody knows how much we love our Jamba Juices.
Can't start the day without a full-fledged.
Look at that. Where's Jared? I gotta ask, man. Where's the butthole?
The butt? You got a butt in there? I don't have a butt.
I want the hole. I'm joking.
I'm joking.
Me and my friends have turned it into the Shoryuken from Street Fighter. I'm joking.
By the way, Detroiters is on Hulu now.
Oh, is it? It's actually available streaming now.
Yeah, that's where Olsen was watching it.
Oh shit, that's right.
So, Detroiters, and it's awesome. So if you need your Tim Robinson fix, go.
I am so in need, bro.
I'm jonesing pretty hard, dude.
That skit on the Michael Bolton thing, dude.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And that was just enough to like entice me, you know. Oh, you're in Keyshot. Look at you.
I just wanted to see.
I want to see.
I just wanted to see how it's looking, man.
I want to see you make awesome monsters.
Because I'm thinking I'll probably just the original kind of rock piece that I had. Yeah, I mean, the environment is... I like these rocks. I like the pointy rocks.
They're nice rocks.
They're fun. It's a huge-ass base to print, right?
Yeah, I mean, you might want to like chop it down, but like Also, your wings are wrapped around it too. I mean,
I know.
you just chop the sides off, like the little extras. But nah, it looks so dope.
It does, right? It's tough. It's a tough It's a tough
Uh,
decision.
You're gonna have
And
to take him to Tinkletown.
I'm gonna have to take him to
Oh
Tinkle.
my God, it's Lamarcus. Lamarcus is
Holy
here.
shit, LaMarcus Harvey. Well, look at this dude.
Well, well, well. Look who showed up to this corral. How's it going, dude? You got
Tell us
married,
everything.
didn't you?
Yeah, he's married, man.
He's married now. You're
He's
a
made man.
He's a made man. He's a married man.
Lamar, I miss you, bro.
Yeah, we miss you, dude.
Here, check it out.
What?
This LaMarcus printed this out for me. This is his kick-ass turtle, man.
Oh yeah, sick.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Dude, LaMarcus is a beast, man.
He is a beast.
LaMarcus is a beast, dude.
I remember when he was a fresh-faced young lad.
I remember whenever he was in our sculpture class and he got some critique about, I can't remember who he was doing. I don't want to ruin the story, but he was like sculpting the butt. And he was like, "Oh man, it's all in the hams or in the yams." He was like, "It's all in the yams, dude." What an awesome dude. Yeah, I think
that's why this is fun. That's why streaming is fun, because all our friends come to say hi.
Yeah, I mean the print, because I mean even looking at the silhouette, right? Like up here in the top left corner, that silhouette thing is just awesome.
It's a great silhouette.
And I mean, I just love that tool that they have that little thing up there.
The thumbnail viewer.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is the drag. So I'll go and be like, "Woo, it's big."
Oh, you can make it big.
Make it big.
Oh, damn, you can make it big.
But also, I have a button for it in case I don't want to look at it.
You know.
Same with the cam view too. You sometimes you hit that and it's annoying, so you want to turn those off.
What do you want to turn off?
The cam view. That's that little head in the right hand corner.
Oh, I like the head in the right corner.
Yeah, but sometimes like you're zoomed in and you accidentally hit it and you're like,
yeah. No, that never happens to me. That's never.
No, that doesn't happen. Oh, okay.
No, I think that's only you that has that problem.
No, I am the only person that has ever experienced it.
I've actually asked a lot of people if they've had that issue, and
none of them have that issue.
They can't believe that you would even come close to doing that by accident.
They get offended, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's it's 2022, man. We're all offended by something.
We're all pretty. People are all pretty angry about stuff.
Yeah, and I was thinking, maybe next time we'll just talk about world politics instead of even just sculpting creatures.
We can get real serious.
Yeah, let's get real serious.
Let's talk about the state of cured ham.
Let's talk about the state of cured ham.
Cured meats. So I think I've got almost all the skin in there. Almost. My favorite part is doing like little finger wrinkles.
On the knuckies?
Like the knuckies.
On the knuckies?
The little knuckies. People are like, oh my God.
Lamarcus
probably just have us on mute most of the time. That's what I would do.
Lamarcus wants to know what kind of sound that Tim is making.
Tim?
Wait, what was his name? Eric?
Oh, my creature?
Your man, yeah.
Oh, my little creature man here?
Yeah, what does he sound like?
I mean, it's probably like high-pitched screeching. Like that.
Yeah. I got
That's a mic check for everybody.
Yeah, sorry guys.
I mean, he probably, it's like a Pokemon. They say their name. They're like,
okay. Tim. That is my favorite aspect of Pokemon.
Is that they can only say their names?
They just identify themselves.
It's so cool. And what I love is that they're like, can you imagine you discover this animal and you're like, oh my God, what is this animal? And he's like Pollywog. And you're like, got it.
Jesus. Like, Jesus.
Got it.
I'm
Nailed
scared. It talked to me. Does it know that it's talking to me?
Please do not show your creations to your psychologist. I think they would be terrified to know what's in my brain.
I don't know.
Horrible.
My psychologist is pretty cool, man.
You got a cool one.
You got a cool one.
You got a cool one.
You didn't get the one with the cattle.
I just look at myself in the mirror and I act as my own psychologist. It's working great.
Yeah, dude. That's what I do too.
Yeah. You know that the scene in Lord of the Rings where Gollum talks back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
That's really neat.
It's pretty cool. So how do you feel about Lord of the Rings, Power of the Rings ring?
How do I feel about Elden Ring? Dude, I can't wait for that video.
Well, how do you feel about Amazon? Because they're doing Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I know how you feel about Elden Ring.
I mean, I love Lord of the Rings, you know. I remember whenever that was in house years and years ago. And that's all I have to say about it, I think.
That's all I can say about it.
Is there a trailer or something?
Is there a what?
Is there a trailer that I don't know?
Oh, no. They teased the name.
Did they officially announce it? Is that what?
It's been announced.
Has it been announced?
It was announced. And
yeah, man, I'm still worried. I mean, what? You know, you got to go in hoping that something's cool, right?
Yeah,
I know it's gonna look cool.
It paid a lot of money for it, so it better be cool.
And it is a very large sum of money.
They paid a lot of money.
One thing is that, you know, I want Viggo Mortensen in my life.
I know. We all do.
Everybody needs him.
You know what I learned about him, though, is that he apparently has an affinity for crows.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that he just rescues crows. Like, injured crows tend to find him, and then he rescues them.
Oh, dude.
He's also got, like, a crow tattoo on his arm.
Dude, he's Viggo Mortensen, the coolest dude to walk the earth.
I want to be friends with the crow. And he's just out there, just like crows come to him.
He's like, I ain't got to mess with it, man. They just.
I learned that Nicolas Cage, he also has a pet crow.
Oh, yeah. That cusses him out, apparently.
Yeah, that is just so cool.
I love everything Nick Cage.
Jealous.
I love everything. I even said I could eat a peach for hours earlier. You know, what am I going to do?
That's a quote.
From Face Off, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, Face Off. What a great film.
All right, man. Well, it's getting like 2:20 my time, brother.
2:20?
12:20, sorry. I did say 2:20. I am a garbage
human. Oh, my God.
It's not real. Wow. 2 hours just...
I'm going to add, before we go, I just want to add some hair.
Oh, dude, you're going full fly fur.
But, a little bit thick.
It's going to be dope.
But, I don't know. How do you feel? You feel like you got some stuff done?
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like one more session probably sometime this week. I'll probably spend a couple of hours on it or something. Give it a little pose, or I might just keep it symmetrical and just print it and see if my printer will go.
You know, one thing like I wrestled with was like, okay, what if I just work on this guy in the meantime? You know, just just get some extra stuff done with him. And I thought, you know what? It's good to just save it for the stream because people, you get to see, one, you have to understand that progress is slow. Sometimes it's creeping and crawling, and it's a little slow sometimes. So you got to get in what you can when you can.
Yeah, I'll probably do just a little bit on these arms and get some of this kind of wrinkly language, like the large kind of skin folds that are present on the arms. I'll probably like this kind of stuff right here. I'll probably pump some of that into right here and just be ready to go. Just a print, I'll have to dynamesh some of it together and figure it out. But I just want to set up that that Parenta Piopoli. Not Piopoli, sir.
He sounds like a detective or so, like Dan Piopoli.
I'm on the case, Your Honor.
My name is Dan Piopoli.
Your Honor, I have been working on
what?
This guy.
I'm just gonna send him over to Keyshot real quick.
I'm working on this guy.
Will we both be texturing your creature? Well, Matt's. Oh yeah, that's rad, dude. I forgot about that. Your little Dark Souls dude. Yeah, Matt's working on textures for this dude, and you're gonna be printing your. You're gonna be printing your Cthulhu, so you don't need to texture it.
No, I already textured and lit and did all that stuff with my Cthulhu model, and now I'm revisiting it so that I can print it. I just want to spend some time noodling on the actual model, because with texturing and stuff, like, you're using bump maps and spec maps and roughness maps, all this other crap, to add a bunch of really cool detail and depth into your renders, right? But that is not on your model. And whenever you want to print something,
right, it's all got to be in there.
Yeah, I want to make it nice and tight, for sure.
And I am not a texture artist. I am a cheater. So everything I do just has to be in the model.
I mean, you're texturing just shit, not production texturing. I mean, it's concept artist painting and texturing and shading. It's all that stuff. So I mean,
I do it to an extent, but it's not like proper. Like I don't care about UVs at all.
Yeah.
So like, that's awesome for me.
Yes, it is awesome. Not to care about that is incredible. Because I forgot about Keyshot, man. I forgot about Keyshot until I bought it again. Whenever we started doing this stream, I was like,
I was like, hey Matt, you should get Keyshot, and he's like,
Yeah. I was like, dude, I've been in production for so long. This is great. I can just Photoshop stuff. I can just render out a wet pass in like 10 seconds and paint in some spec. That's great.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll poly paint this guy, and then I'll kind of bump up the textures a little bit with some, Keyshot Kung Fu magic. But that's about the extent of what I'm going to do. And I'm going to probably take this guy and I'll probably put a couple of them in a scene together. Like what we'll do is I'll show you the render paint over process, which I've shown before, but it's always helpful to see it again. And then I'll show you how I pose him, and I'll show you how I kind of set a little scene with these guys, and then I'll move on, do something else. Because like for me, like once the design is resolved, I feel like I'm done,
Yeah.
For me, I spending hours and hours texturing and UVing and all that stuff. It's not my favorite. I love sculpting, you know. But like he's starting to get nasty.
Yeah, man, he's looking good.
I like the part where he scares me.
I like scary stuff. I think everyone here knows that about us, actually.
I hope so. Because I want to share.
We want to share.
See, like the profile view is probably my favorite.
That's cool. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Just it's pretty fun. It's a nice like, and then even like some other smaller hairs down the back that'll help as well.
Right. Like some smaller kind of trailing in, just like your
Yeah,
wood.
you know, just covering them in
Yeah.
some neck and back fur, some little tiny hairs on the head. I already like the little hairs that are kind of coming across here.
Yeah,
It
that's
adds
nice.
more breakup and shadow, and
Mhm.
yeah, he's looking nasty.
Hey, he's looking nasty.
He's looking nasty.
All right, Jared. Well, it's my bedtime, dude.
Oh, that's right. You got to go to bed.
Yep.
And it's
12:30.
it's time for Betty Bye time. So let's do this thing. So thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us, sculpting some creatures and talking nonsense. So thank you to our sponsor Lenovo for sponsoring us and being all around cool people.
Yeah,
and,
Lenovo rules.
They rule, and we love you. Stay safe. Eat some cheese.
I love cheese, man.
Cheese rocks. No,
you know what? Hold on. I don't want to go anywhere. Let's talk about cheese the next half hour.
Yeah. We're gonna stick around. Part 2, we're gonna just talk about cheese the whole time. Hey, Miguel Ortega was here.
Yeah, man.
Check out his stream, the Hollow. Was it the Hollow or the Hallow? The Hollow? The Hollow? We've been checking out Miguel's stream on Fridays, I believe. Which is
a god.
It's awesome. Him and Tran, man.
Amazing.
It's insane. And I'm learning so much watching them work. And then make sure you check out Art Jam and Archetype with Josh Herman. Excellent shows. Voice in the Hollow. Thank you, Miguel.
Voice in the Hollow.
Voice in the Hollow. So thank you all, guys. Get some sleep, and I hope you have some horrible nightmares.
Dude, yeah. See you guys next Tuesday.
See you all next time. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Good night, and we love you.